commentators agree that it's going to be a risky year, 2013, for the global economy. Now, there's much optimism that emerging countries that deliver 5% plus GDP growth can offset the negatives or the restraints posed by the US debt showdown and the Eurozone recession. I'm going to put that statement to Ishwar Judge Ahluwalia, chairperson of the Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relations. I'm going to zero in specifically on India. And the India scenario is actually comparable to many other emerging countries. All of them looking at 5% plus growth, but really tackling inflation as well, walking a bit of a tightrope. As you assess India, and I'll extrapolate to the other economies, but as you assess India, what's the level of risk in this delicate balancing act?
I think that it is a challenge, but a challenge is always an opportunity. So when you say what is the level of risk, that depends on what policy, not stimulus, but what policies are put in place to address that challenge. I actually see this more as an opportunity. We've recently had a budget, and the finance minister has made it very plain that stability of the macroeconomic environment is extremely important. The Reserve Bank has made it very plain that financial regulatory framework will be there to ensure that we don't have runaway inflation. So on the macroeconomic side, we have this scenario. The problem really has been with private investment and some loosening of confidence on the part of the private sector, so that investment has taken a turn for the worse. And I think that really depends on how the government can really push the infrastructure projects to create an environment that the government means business, infrastructure would be there. And then, consumption is rising. There are some sectors that are doing extremely well. India has tasted growth for 10 years, and now we are in a cyclical downturn.
Or you could argue losing hope, because you referred to the dip in investor confidence, businesses not investing adequately. Are there signs of adequate catalysts from the government right here, right now, 2013? We're starting off a new financial year. Evidence of adequate catalysts?
I think so. I think so because I think you take the urban sector, okay? The urban infrastructure requirements are something of the order of $800 billion over a 20-year period. State governments are very conscious of the need to create livable cities so that they can act as engines of growth. So whether it comes to road, traffic support, infrastructure, water, sanitation, public outcry is there to get this public service delivery. State governments are feeling the pressure that in order to be accountable to this empowered, young, impatient public, they have to deliver. And the government of India has provided a supportive framework through the Jawaharlal National Urban Renewal Mission. So I think that as a major driving force. And then, it is a cyclical downturn that we have faced, some created by the external economic environment, some by some policy decisions, within the country.
Or you could say stalled policy decisions
whatever.
as well.
But I think there is a clear indication in what we have seen in the last 3 months that the government has decided to turn that around, and some of the doubts are being cleared. I think the real challenge is going to be, you have to wait and watch if they can successfully move the infrastructure projects. I think that will make a big difference.
That's a subject that's close to your heart, urban infrastructure in particular. If you had to give me 3 recent examples of urban infrastructure initiatives, big in scale and impact, that have really got the kind of momentum that they needed, what 3 come to mind?
Well, I'll tell you the 3 initiatives which in my view are really very, very important. Take the city of Pune, where today we have a solid waste to energy plant that has been put in place, which the investment is of the order of 100 plus crores, and that really takes unsegregated waste from the town and converts it into synthesized gas, and it's environment friendly, it's state of the world, it's a world-class investment that they've put in, environment friendly, they can get carbon credit for it. Now, you know, when we have the problem of solid waste in our cities, today, you know, other chief ministers are going to visit Maharashtra, visit Pune, and coming back and telling me that on the one hand you have this, on the other hand you have decentralized biomethanation plants that have been put in place, which are addressing the same question. Now, the finance minister in this budget has actually said that they will provide support to all waste to energy plants wherever they are. To me, this is killing two birds with the same stone. You clean up your cities, you generate power, you generate organic manure which can be used to improve the quality of soil. So, you know, this is not about growth numbers, that this is going to lead to so much investment, but this creates durable conditions for sustainable growth. So, this is one urban infrastructure initiative that I can talk about. Well, you want another?
Well, I hope that there are going to be many more such examples of urban infrastructure facelifts to talk about in the months to come. The pressure is on. Dr. Ahluwalia, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.